Welcome to another episode of Go Team Score Points, a podcast for those who want to distract themselves from the news for 30 to 45 minutes and learn about the NBA instead. Each episode focuses on one NBA game from that week, and beginner Irish and longtime NBA fan Sam learn more about the NBA games, people, and current events. In today's show, we don't talk about a game, but it's still our best episode yet.
Why don't we talk about a game?
So for our fans who got in at the ground floor, we started just audio and then switched to video. And when we did, the audio quality went down. So we've been trying to figure out the audio quality. Last week, it was so bad. It was unusable. So we had to scrap it. So we're doing like a
trial episode, but we don't have a specific game to talk about necessarily.
Right. But we're still going to talk about basketball. Yeah. This is episode 20.
Episode 20. It's wild.
Okay, so we still have some normal business to get to. So I got a couple of reviews. One is from Tina. Tina loves us. Tina is my basketball mom friend. Our kids play on the same basketball team, and we always hang out during the games. And I was telling her about this podcast, and she's been listening, and she is our perfect audience because she has someone in her life who knows all about basketball, and she doesn't know that much about basketball, and now she's learning about it and has something to talk to her kid about. Yeah, we're bringing families together.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do. Okay, then we got a review from Alice. Hey, Alice. Alice said, and this is right before the episode that went so poorly that we had to throw it out. She said, I just listened to the first 5 minutes of your new podcast. So much growth and improvement. Yeah. So those are reviews.
I don't think I got any reviews this week. I'm pretty sure that I didn't get any reviews this week, but mom did email. She said, hi boy, I'm getting used to your new theme song. At some point, I bet I will get chills. So which game was 2 games ago?
We watched the Mavericks play the Grizzlies.
Because it was the gray floor.
Yes, it was the Mavericks floor.
Okay. So I did not see the game, and I always find Irish interesting and funny. The floor in that arena is horrible for watching a basketball game. For me, it is so distracting. I could hardly bear the floors in the in-season tournament. When you two were discussing the face of the NBA, all I could think was, aw, poor millionaires. Enough said. And then she said not to belittle the problems of famous, privileged people. She and I go back, this is something we go back and forth about how their lives are still real lives and that their problems are still real to them. Is kind of my opinion. And I think hers is like in the broader context. I
think it was Abraham Lincoln who said, more money, more problems. So it could be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, if you want to go into this, like, I see your point. Like, I do think like there's probably everyone they meet wants something from them. And like, that would be a hard way to live.
Yeah. A lot of pressure. There was, who Al Horford is? He's 38 years old and he plays for the Celtics. They were talking about like what it's actually like to come back for another season when you're 38. His contract's up at the end of this year. We'll probably talk about that a little later with the Celtics sale or whatever. But, and just like that, it's it's hard to like go through an NBA season is hard. Like on your body, the commitment, travel. Yeah. So anyway, poor millionaires was mom's point of view. Okay. I do not understand why Irish wants to know the outcome of the game before she watches it. As you know, as a fan of the games I watch, I can't stand to know the outcome while I watch a game. It absolutely ruins the game for me. Maybe it's because I'm watching as a fanatic fan. You want to address that?
Here's why I like to know the outcome. Yeah. Okay. I think I pay attention more because when I'm watching a game, it's like there's usually one team who's like kind of in the lead the whole time. But both times that I've watched a game where I've known the outcome, it has not been the team that's been ahead. Right. And I think that like for like the last week's game where we watched the Grizzlies Mavericks, I knew the Grizzlies were going to win, but they were losing for 3/4 of the game. Yeah. And I think if I didn't know the outcome, I would have been like really not curious. Yeah. Like, piques this curiosity of like, when is this shifting?
Yeah.
When is this going to, they won by kind of a lot. Yeah. And I was really watching to see when are they catching up and then going past.
That makes sense. So mom's main concern is, did the Celtics win? And your main concern is like, was the game interesting?
Yeah.
And knowing the final score and having the lead up to that is part of the interest for you.
And when I went into this, like when I first started watching basketball, I didn't want to know. And I hid all the scores on the league pass because I thought it would make it more interesting for me. So it's a surprise to both me and your mom.
Okay. Well, that's nice. In that game, you had talked about how the announcers might not like each other.
Yeah.
Mom said when Drew first joined Scalabrini, Mom's personal friend, Scalabrini, there was definitely some friction. I wondered if Scal was having trouble not being with Mike Gorman or Tommy. Those were the million-year announcers for the Celtics. As time went on, Scal and Drew got much friendlier. Scal still teases Drew at some points during most games. I agree with Irish about Shaq being a true legend. When I watched him play against the Celtics, I used to get so angry and felt like he was a refrigerator placed on the low post on defense and never got called for 3 seconds. And I was surprised you didn't mention Hack-a-Shaq when talking about his inability to make free throws. He made me believe that Big couldn't shoot free throws. No longer even close to true. That's it for me. Keep up the fun, good work. Love, Mom. I know we had talked, the Hack-a-Shaq thing was like a strategy the team. He was so bad at foul shots that at the end of games, rather than let his team have a chance to like score in a regular possession, they would just foul him before they really got going. And it was more likely that he would miss, that they would be able to stop them from scoring. All right. Yeah, that was it from Mom.
I have a fact checked by friends. Okay, this is not about an episode we did.
Yeah.
But last week I went to my son August's basketball game. And as we were walking back to the car, I had a question about the game because the coach from the other team got a technical foul because he was yelling or, I don't know, just like getting into it with the ref. Too much, I guess. Tina's son went to make the free throw. And so I was asking August, when that happens, like, how do they decide who throws the free throw? And he was like, Mom, are you kidding me? Throws the free throw? Like that? What are you talking about? And I was like, like throws the free throw. And he was like, what? Throw? No, it's not throws. I was like, I don't know. Tosses? Chucks it? It's like shoots a free throw. And I was like, that's the same, shoots, throws, same thing. It's like punching and slapping is the same thing, but different motions. Same. Throwing and shooting, different, like punching and slapping.
So I don't blame you for this. The name is wrong.
That's right. I'm right. Basketball is wrong.
Whoever named it is wrong. If you want, call it a free shot. If you want to say shooting. A long time ago, I said, I hope you keep saying throw forever. And I do, because you're right. But I don't know. I mean, that is true, August. It's a pretty good point. I don't think I'm trying to think about that. Slapping and punching. Slapping and punching aren't exactly the same, right? Your hand. But is that his point? It's the same motion.
But it's like similar, but very different. You said someone punched someone. That would be different from saying someone slapped someone.
Right.
You would imagine something.
Oh.
So throwing and shooting are similar in that they're both the same motion, but different.
He's not wrong. That doesn't get at the point, which is that it's named wrong. Like it's called like a 3-point shot or a jump shot. Yeah. And then they called this a throw.
Okay, what a time to be alive. The term free throw in basketball, rather than free shot, stems from the historical use of throw and shot interchangeably in the early days of the sport, with throw being a less precise term for shot. When James Naismith invented basketball in 1891, the ball was considered thrown rather than shot. Has roots in Middle English, blah, blah, blah. Naismith likely used throw because he intended for the free throw to be a less precise shot as opposed to a carefully aimed shot. Somebody invented this game?
Peach baskets. Yeah, I think it was like a gym teacher on peach baskets in a gym. The ball wasn't bounceable, like you couldn't dribble them.
The term free throw has stuck, even though the modern understanding of basketball emphasizes shooting, not throwing. Wow.
So free throw. So that's fact check.
Yeah, and wow. The lesson we just taught.
Deep dive, yeah.
Like that is episode 20 level.
We couldn't have done that 15 weeks ago. Are you kidding me? The internet wasn't even a thing then.
Okay, current events. This is a newish
segment. And it might be a little extended in this episode because
we didn't watch a game.
Okay,
current events. First of all, I met Aaron. Hey, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. I haven't heard from Aaron in a while. I don't even know if he's still listening. I hope you're listening, Aaron.
Oh, maybe it's just because he met me and it was like never meet your heroes.
It's a little disappointing.
I was walking at school with Ruby and he heard me, recognized my voice and then my face because we're video now, which is the root of our recent troubles. Anyway, I met him and we're best friends now.
Yeah, he's great.
Then I saw him like 4 more times.
It's like when you get a car, you start seeing that car everywhere.
Yeah.
When you meet Aaron, Aaron's everywhere.
Yep.
You met Aaron. Okay. Current events.
Oh yeah. Okay. So then also current event. This is more of an opinion, but when I was at the August basketball game last Sunday, it was very exciting to watch. And no team scored more than 40 points. But it was super exciting to watch. And I think it's because of the running clock. It did stop sometimes at a free throw shot, a free shot.
Yeah.
But for the most, and it stopped like they had timeouts, and there was a little short break between the halves.
Okay.
Which I think is pretty normal. But I really think that this is what the NBA.
So it like didn't stop consistently. Like it wasn't like every time. Like were you ever like confident that the clock was going to stop?
No, but I wasn't really okay. But I wasn't like watching the clock the whole time.
So this all might just be made up that you don't know.
No, I just know that like that game started at 3:30 and the game ended at 4:30. Like it is precise.
Right.
And I think that the NBA, I'm like really serious.
Yeah.
I think that they should go for quality over quantity. So like 2 hours that they have for a game, they get lots of advertising time.
Yeah.
But fewer people are watching.
Yep.
So less advertising time, like this is a math problem. Fewer people watching, more ads, or more people watching, fewer ads. Because there's less ad time. If it's only an hour, I think viewership would go way up.
Maybe they could sell the commercial spots for more money. My buddy Ben, he got a random email from CBS Sports, and it said, "Hey, the March Madness is happening in Providence, and we want to highlight some local."
That's amazing.
We want to like show things that are the mascots that are playing. Arkansas, which is the Razorbacks, they went to his farm, to Ben's farm, and videotaped pigs. Some people in Ben's life, like spread around the country, like reached out and were like, "Are you advertising during March Madness?" And we were laughing about what a horrible business decision for Ben to spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a 30-second spot on March Madness to advertise his pigs.
The Hobbs of a family-owned and operated Wild Harmony Farm here in Exeter, Rhode Island. And the Arkansas Hogs up by 3.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Kind of got spun out. So the running thing, you're in. Well, how different would it be if they just said, "Look, this game starts at 7:30 and we're stopping it at 9:30. We're going to count down to the end of this."
No, that's still 2 hours.
Pick your time.
Yeah, because it's 2 hours
five.
now. 2 hours is too long, is what I'm saying.
Right.
It needs to be an hour and 15 minutes.
But how different would the end of games feel
So exciting.
if it was like, you do whatever you want, but we're stopping at 9:30?
Yes, I think they should try it.
We were joking before it. We might just need like a drunk timekeeper, because it sounds like this guy stopped the clock sometimes during foul shots.
No, I don't think they were drunk. I think it's like a volunteer who's like one of the players' like sisters who's in high school.
At Rivers, anyone who coached basketball, there was a holiday tournament at Rivers, and anyone who coached needed to volunteer to do a game.
Yes.
It would like coaches would get. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I haven't been trained in scorekeeping or whatever.
Right?
But it was like it's pretty intense. We one of the jobs is to reset the 24-second clock, and so if like the ball hits the rim. So like it sounds not that big, but then like kind of toward the end of the shot clock, you'd get a little bit anxious, and then someone would take a shot and it would like maybe graze the rim, and I was like, I don't know what to do. It was pretty intense.
We just got a text from
we might have.
Brian.
Hey Brian, we might have breaking news.
No, it's because I didn't know what
No.
Brian sent us something, and I was like, "Listen, Brian, I've come a long way."
Yeah.
But
we've talked about Ben Simmons on this podcast before.
he's a podcaster, right?
No, that's Bill. Brian sent that you should put this up. Brian sent someone's tweet, which was a joke. Big news. So Bronny James just passed Ben Simmons in career 3-pointers. Bronny James now has 6. And Ben Simmons is stuck at 5.
6 times 3 is a lot more than 5 times.
Yeah, it's a distributive property problem. So, and Ben Simmons, who I think was drafted by the Sixers, he was like part of the process, was drafted.
What year was this? Like recent or like a long time?
It's late teens, probably. And Ben Simmons has had a lot of trouble. He has not had a successful NBA career. Like he got drafted. He's like a big, super athletic guy, really good defender, bad shoot. He's like never had a consistent shot. And it was kind of like right as Steph Curry was happening. and 3-point shots became kind of indispensable. So I think the Sixers may have signed Ben Simmons to like a max contract kind of situation, and then he was basically like unplayable. His basketball career has not been what people thought it would be. So that's a little bit of a joke about both of them. But that's our current event. Bronny James passes Ben Simmons on career 3.
And congratulations to LeBron James, who saw that spark inside Bronny and was like, this guy's going places.
I'm going to nurture that.
Like, let's get him on the Lakers.
I think I'll do that with my kids.
Okay, other current event, it's March Madness time, and I am not following it this year, but I felt like as a basketball podcast, we should at least acknowledge that it's happening and that we're aware of it, and that PJ Flag, or what's his name? Cooper Flag is out for Duke, and at this time of year, I always tell the same story, so I think I should tell it again now.
Yeah.
In 13 or 14, I joined the pool at our school that we were working at, which was like a very big school. And I put Duke to go the whole way. And you know what? No one else picked Duke, which means I won like $400. I beat every single person.
Wow.
And that was in like 2013. And I talk about it every time March Madness comes up. I'm like, well, guess what? One time I won all the money.
Yeah.
I'll never not talk about that during March Madness.
I don't think I've ever won a bracket. I don't usually do them. I don't follow college basketball that closely. And what would happen was I'd be watching March Madness and I would start to root based on my bracket.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
Kind of, but most of the fun to me of March Madness is like Alcorn State beating Kentucky. Right. And I would always have Kentucky picked in that game. Right. So I would end up rooting kind of against what I wanted. As I was watching the game, what I wanted to happen. And the other thing that the college tournament has done is staggered start times. We had talked about this, but there are 4 different channels that carry the games. And so there's kind of like, once the day is rolling, there's kind of always a game ending, which is super exciting, super, super exciting and really fun. You can just be kind of toggling back and forth. You don't have to make a choice about which exciting end to watch. It's pretty cool. They've done a really good job with that tournament. All right. Do you have anything else on March Madness?
No.
Okay.
Steph Curry hit 4,000 steps.
Buried 4,000 3-pointers. Yeah, that's the record by, I think, more than 1,000. I don't think anyone else is at 3,000.
We should put him next to Bronny and Ben Simmons.
Like a bar graph, which would be a big difference.
That would be so sad.
It'd be a big difference. Yeah, but leading right into current events, Steph Curry's hurt. Nothing structural, but it probably will have seeding implications. I think the Warriors are playing right now, I think. And so it seemed like they were in line for like maybe even like a home court advantage series. And I don't know how long Steph's going to be out, but this may have some implications.
You know what? This is Jimmy Butler's time to shine.
Yeah, we will see. We'll see. Eyes on that. LeBron's still hurt. Don't know how long he'll be out.
Okay. Wait, I saw something on TikTok about that. Some people are saying that he's hurt every year at this time. And I think we were talking about this, him jumping up at that game.
Yeah.
That people are skeptical that he's actually hurt or if he's like resting up for the playoffs.
The way that he stopped playing, he was like mid-game against the Celtics in a really good game.
Okay. So that seemed legit.
I don't think they would have been like, okay, in the third quarter of this really close game where you've played a lot and tried really hard, all of a sudden, like, stop. You should grab your groin, walk off the court, and then you won't play for 3 weeks. The severity of the injury, and they're not wrong. Like having him fresh for the playoffs would be a good thing. But you were talking like he went to some high school game. I would assume it was one of his children's games.
I think it was one of his kids.
I don't know, but he was like jumping around to the point where people are like, I don't think someone who's hurt can move like that.
He was like, this kid on this high school team. Now there's room for him on the Lakers because I'm going to be injured.
10-day contract for that one.
Yeah.
Because I said so. So those are 2 current events that I'm watching. Cavaliers, who are first in the Eastern Conference.
The Cavs.
Cavs. Thanks. Yeah. The Cavs won 16 games in a row. It's their second.
Congratulations.
15-game winning streak this year, which has happened very few times, like in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
And they've lost their last 4 games in a row.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So like all of a sudden, it seems very natural that after you won 16 games in a row and you lost, there'd be a little bit of a letdown.
I bet some fan washed their lucky shirt and like ruined it for everyone.
Yeah. The Cavs I think they're still like 5 games ahead in the East. So I don't think the Celtics are going to catch them. There's not enough games left. But I think the Cavs have ruined their chances to have home court advantage if they make it to the finals because the Thunder are still cruising. They're still doing really well. So just eye on that a little bit. I haven't watched any of these Cavs games that they've lost. I don't know if there's like a problem if they're just like not focused. I don't know. Good people. Yeah, their last few games.
So they're like not good people, like Steve Bannon's team. Teams that are not, that you would be surprised.
So they lost against the Magic. The Magic are good.
They're okay.
They're okay. They lost against the Magic. They lost against the Clippers, who are good. I mean, the Clippers are like above 500. But then they lost against the Kings, who are not so good. And I think one of the Kings' best players is hurt. And then they lost against the Suns, who are like below 500. So it's probably just, I would assume that it's just focus, but they're just not, the Cavs are just not like paying close attention right now or like trying that hard or whatever. But eyes on it. I think they're playing like the Jazz tomorrow or something. So we'll see if they can get back on track. If they lost a couple more, all of a sudden they'd be like, I wonder if the Celtics have a chance to steal the number 1 seed. I was looking yesterday. It feels very reasonable for the Celtics to win 60 games. I think they have 51 wins right now, and of their I think they might have like 12 or 13 games left, and of those, 9 of them seem quite winnable if they want to. Like I would imagine they're watching the Cavs a little bit to be like, if we can get within 3 games with 8 games left, is there a chance? Anyway, I'm curious about it. Yeah. So Nuggets are swooning a little bit.
I know. Well, it's Jokic is out.
Anything else? What's not?
You're going to talk about the Celtics sale.
Yeah. So
who owned them and who owns them now?
The Grosbeck family was the majority owners of the Celtics.
Who are they? Do we know?
I don't know what they do.
His name is Wycliffe.
They call him Wick, yeah.
Born in Worcester. He's just a venture capitalist, I think.
Well, so I don't know. I don't know. Like, so basically what I've heard is that Wick Grosbeck's dad, who's like 90, basically was like, we want to get our affairs in order for like my estate.
Okay.
And kind of forced this sale. And I don't think Wick was super happy about that. And Wick as his son, been like acting as like he's been running the team. Like he's been acting as the owner, but I don't think he owns a majority stake. And there was a little bit of drama about this guy, Steve Pagluca, was like leading a group and he already owned a piece of the Celtics before this sale. And he really wanted to be the next owner. He's a chairperson of Bain Capital, like, all kinds of money. And the Grosbeck family was like, there's no inside track here. We want the most money for the Celtics. We want this. And I think there was some like bad feelings between those two. I think Pagluca actually owned more of the team than Wick did. But because Wick was his dad's son, got to act as like the chairperson, so there was like a little bit of this tension. So anyway, this guy Chisholm, the guy who's the new owner, I always forget his first.
So could Wick have sold his part and the other guy kept his part? That could have happened, right?
But it wasn't. It was Wick's dad who like actually owned the.
Oh, okay.
It was like I want out. Like I want to get like liquidate this and get my estate in order for he's 90, so
very considerate of him,
I suppose. Wick wasn't psyched about it. So anyway, this guy's Bill Chisholm, who is now he's like a venture capital investor,
finance bro, great
billionaire guy. Yeah, he's from the North Shore of Massachusetts. Grew up a Celtics fan. The Celtics, which is the most money ever paid for a North American sports team.
Does that make you feel like good?
A couple of things that are interesting about it are I think the Suns were the last team to sell. It was like within the last 5 or 10 years, and they sold for 4-point-something billion. With that, though, there was a WNBA team that was also part of the sale, and I think there was also an arena as part of the sale. The Celtics don't own TD Garden, and like it's old, and like it's coming due. So like this ownership group also was probably going to have to build an arena
or just remodel.
I guess. I don't know if I would assume that it's beneficial to actually own it.
Yeah.
Design it how they want. The Clippers just built this new arena, which we talked about, which apparently is awesome.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that's kind of where the NBA is heading. But the thing about the sale is that all they got was the Celtics. And I don't, as compared to other sales where there's like,
Right.
other stuff underneath the umbrella of buying the team. This is like just the team. So it'll be really interesting to see what this person does. Like I was, as a Celtics fan, I was like heartened to see that he grew up a Celtics fan and like isn't some random money making venture for him. I'm sure the other kind of like soap opera piece to it is that Wyc Grousbeck has been a really successful owner, right? They've won 2 championships, and when he bought, they didn't have a lot of assets, and they made this amazing Brown Tatum to get the draft picks for those guys. So they've been relevant for 20 years, which is like not an easy thing to do in the NBA. So apparently, like in writing, Wyc is going to be like an acting governor of the team for a while because he's been successful. But I mean, like, how real is that actually? Because you spend $6 billion on something and then let someone else run it?
Well, like, it could be like an investment. Like, if you look at it, like, I don't know how to run a basketball team, and Wyc has been successful, and I just want to make money off of this. Maybe you do keep that guy on.
I hope not. Because if he wants to make money off of it, he's going to trade everybody.
Why? Because they're winning.
I don't know. I mean, even with winning, their payroll is supposed to be $500 million next year. What I've seen is their projected revenue is supposed to be about that. Horford's contract is up after this summer, and if he wants to come back, it'll be interesting. It'll be like, I don't think he'll come back on a minimum salary just to be nice. Like they would have to commit some real money to this 39-year-old guy when things go bad for bigs. At the end of their career, they go bad quickly. So are they going to have this guy for 2 years who's unplayable at some point for a lot of money? And then there's a bunch of people on their team are like older or like can't play that much. Drew Holiday's been hurt a lot this year. Porzingis is always hurt. I wouldn't see anything happening this summer, even if they exit the playoffs early. But like, if they have a couple years of not getting out of the first or second round of the playoffs, like, is Jaylen Brown going to be on the chopping block for? I don't know.
There's no way to know.
I hope that this guy's willing to spend money and make a good product.
I don't know. I do have one follow-up question though. Like, how much is the owner involved in the decision making that actually impacts the winning?
I think a lot.
So are they hiring? So it's owner, GM, coach, player, roughly, right?
Sure. There's got to be other people.
I know of course there are assistant coaches, Goldbug. So, but the owner is making decisions about trade.
I mean, it's their money, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Absolutely. I don't think the GM's like, I want to do this, and the owner's like, I think that's a horrible idea, but I'll pay $100 million for that person. I don't think that happens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, guess. It's all gravy. That was so cool how they won the championship last.
That was like not a highlight for me last year, but like
feel the joy.
Yeah, but now that I'm aware.
Game?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather on the Celtics or on the Gap?
But the Gap is having problems, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. But like malls are in the decline.
Okay.
I think the Celtics are a safer bet. Yeah. So I think the Celtics.
Would you rather August plays in the NBA or August owns the Gap?
Okay. So I think this is a very mom answer. I think I wanted to play in the NBA because I think he would like really like it.
Yeah. He'd be so happy.
He'd be so happy. And I would go to all the games.
Yeah. And be like, come on, run that clock.
Coaching from the sidelines. Oh. Shoot it, August.
Go faster. Okay, you go.
Okay. Would you rather get dinner at a Cheesecake Factory and be at a table near Hakeem Olajuwon and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but have me tell you cannot go and say hi to them? Yeah. Or go to a dinner with Drew and Scal?
I'd rather go to dinner with Drew and Scal. I don't think I could talk to Hakeem Olajuwon.
Because I would tell you can't, because they're eating dinner.
I don't think I could get myself to it.
Because you're nervous?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything to say to those guys. How many people have gone up to them and been like, really cool to meet you. Job in the NBA.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
They don't get to hear that from me. Would you rather shop at the NBA store or shop at the Gap?
Okay. Is it the Gap here in Asia or the Gap in North America? I like the Gap. It's good, everyday clothes. But the Gap clothes here are very different. Every single shirt they have says Gap on it. Okay. Would you rather eat cheddar biscuits at Red Lobster or breadsticks at the Olive Garden? Either one is unlimited.
I don't think I've had cheddar biscuits. I love a biscuit though. I love it. I'll go cheddar biscuits. Although those breadsticks are good if they're warm, the Olive Garden breadsticks. Okay. Would you rather eat concessions at an NBA game or eat at the food court outside of the Gap in the mall?
Okay, so listen, I like both. I think concessions are overpriced, and I do think a food court has a lot of variety.
Yeah.
Then I think like the mall that we go to, you know what? The mall we go to in Denver, it has a Shake Shack, and I love Shake Shack.
What do you got?
Just a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And then just their normal fries. I don't like their cheese fries. And then any shake, like the full, it's so good. Well, there's not one in Taiwan. Oh my God, I've like written a lot of things here. Okay, so what you need to know, you need to know some background on this.
Yeah.
Alex Reese played for Alabama for 4 years of college. Took a year off because he wasn't drafted, drove for Uber, bartended. Then he played in Luxembourg. Then he signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm going to read this because it's so detailed. On September 27th, but then was waived on October 16th. Then 3 days later, he re-signed with the Thunder. But then on October 1st, after playing in one game, they sent him back to the G League. But now he's playing on a 10-day emergency contract with the Sixers because everyone on their team is injured.
Yeah.
So that's Alex Reese. Okay. Would you rather be Bronny James or Alex Reese?
I bet Alex Reese is having a better time appreciating the ride. Although I don't know anything about Bronny James. Maybe he's grateful. And so Bronny James is going to be more set financially.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's true. That is true.
In terms of the experience and like living in the moment and all that, I got to believe that Alex Reese is present and grateful and trying so hard that Bronny James isn't. But like,
Right.
yeah, I'll go Alex Reese.
Okay.
Cooler journey.
One more.
Okay.
Would you rather watch all 7 seasons of the show Younger with Jaylen Brown or
Like next to me on the couch.
or not have to watch any episodes of it, but you don't ever get to meet Jaylen Brown?
It's really hard. It's really, really hard.
Tell me how much you hate that show.
All I can picture is how embarrassed I would be to be watching this show with. He's a busy guy. It's like many hours of TV.
What if during that time you find out that he likes that show? Then what? It wouldn't like change your opinion of it?
Well, yeah, maybe. I think I would need to know, like, I would need some background information about how he felt about the show. If I was like trying to, like, you got to check this show out, and then he was forced to watch the season,
To sell it.
I'd rather not meet him. I'd be like, there's an investment opportunity here. You got to watch this show. We can make an 8th season. So I think not watch it. I don't think I could do that.
Wow.
All right. Last one. Would you rather fix the NBA schedule or fix the gap in your teeth? You don't have a gap in your teeth. I just wanted to say the gap. A hypothetical gap in your teeth.
Well, I think gaps in teeth is like, it's not a terrible thing.
So you'd rather fix the schedule?
Yeah. I think people can look great with a gap in their teeth.
Yeah. But I'm surprised that you care at all about fixing the NBA schedule.
No, it's that I am confident that I would look great with a gap in my teeth.
Oh.
That's the difference.
I just want to find a way to work the gap in
Good
without
job.
it being the store.
This is an unconventional episode.
Yeah.
We don't have an MVP or an LVP.
Right.
I've come up with the 10 things I've learned. 10 of the things I've learned since starting this podcast.
Right.
Because we're 20 episodes in.
You've learned half a thing per episode.
I've learned more. It's just I limited it to 10.
Yeah.
I don't even think these are the 10 best things I've learned.
Okay.
These are just 10 things I've learned. Okay, number 10. What in the paint means. This was what I learned in episode 1. I had never heard that before, and I thought it was silly. It turns out it's the thing they say. Okay, number 9. Ridiculously oversized hats are a thing.
Yep.
And number 8, the NBA has a viewership problem. I did not know that. Now I know. Okay, number 7, Larsa Pippen has a son who plays for the Grizzlies. Number 6, I can tell you about the Luka Doncic trade and why that was bonkers. Number 5, I can tell you what an alley-oop is. Number 4, I can tell you a few fun facts about Peyton Pritchard, Anthony Edwards, the basketball player, and the actor, Jokic, Brooke Lopez, Drew Holiday, and Aaron Gordon.
Great.
Number 3, I can tell you what the bonus is. Number 2, I know that the Wizards and the Sixers are terrible. Number 1, I know what the process is.
Unbelievable.
What? And that's just like the 10 I came up with. I've learned so much.
Yeah.
But also still so much to learn.
Right.
So much content.
That list was
Yeah.
perfect.
So many things.
Yeah.
And I can talk to people.
So I'll come up with a list of things that I've. I don't know what a Disney adult is. I need to go back through and look at the players you've deep dived. You're my MVP for this episode, just for editing and trying to get through the sound. You're amazing.
Okay. All right. So I think we did it. Good job.
Good job.
Thank you for listening to Go Team Score Points. Today's episode was edited by Irish. You can reach us at goteamscorepoints@gmail.com. Next week, we'll be watching the Nuggets Trailblazers game. See you then.